Hello and welcome to Let's Play Forgotten Worlds on the Sega Master System, Capcom 1988, Capcom USA 1988, reprogrammed game Sega 1991. Okay, this is a very short and in my opinion easy scrolling shoot 'em up game. There are 5 levels in total. At the end of each level is a boss. Along the way we have to defeat enemies and collect money, which is called zennies in this game for some reason. Zennies are used to buy things in Lucia's shop. There's at least one Lucia's shop in each level. There we can buy weapon upgrades and health upgrades and things like that. Some enemies will drop more zennies than others. The small blue and white tokens are worth 100 zennies, I think. Yeah, one of those. The larger ones are worth 1,000, I think. And there's also a treasure box that you can get, which is worth 10,000, I think. There are other upgrades, which I'll explain along the way. The plot of the game is pretty simple. Long ago, some aliens decided to invade the Earth and for some reason turned it into a dust world. We play as an unnamed hero who has been raised since birth to realise his destiny of defeating the aliens and turning the dust world back into Earth. Even though from the game screen here it doesn't look like a dust world, it just looks like a city, but that's how it is. There's also an ocean level, which also negates the fact that it's a dust world as well. So I don't really understand the plot, but what do you expect? The controls are a bit weird. The D-pad moves the character around. Button 1 and button 2, they will rotate your satellite around, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. I can't remember which is which, but I always get used to it pretty quickly. Shooting is done automatically. Now, there is a Mega Drive version of the game. In the Mega Drive version of the game, one button shoots and the other 2 buttons rotate the satellite clockwise or anti-clockwise, because the Mega Drive control pad, or at least the original Mega Drive control pad, has 3 buttons. Later Mega Drive pads they have 6 buttons, but the early Mega Drive pads only had 3 buttons. Anyway, so in that game, one button was the shoot button and the other 2 buttons rotated the satellite. There is an option in that version of the game to make shooting automatic, like in this version, and that obviously makes it easier. In this version, because the Master System, because it only has 2 buttons and a D-pad on the control pad, they made it so that the shooting is always automatic, which is a bit weird. So the buttons just rotate. So this version is by default easier than the Mega Drive version. Anyway, so that's everything explained. I shall now press the start button, which is button 1, and then we're taken to a small menu. Game level, easy, normal or hard. I'm going to be playing on hard mode, of course. The major differences between easy, normal and hard is firstly the amount of damage that enemies will do to you increases as the difficulty increases, and also I think on easy and normal we start with a number of zennies. Like, I think on easy we start automatically with 10,000 or something, I can't remember. On normal it's 5,000, and on hard we start with no zennies. So I think they're the major differences. There might be some more, but I can't remember. If you're interested, I have written a guide for this game on Game FAQs. I wrote it back in 2011 as part of the quote-unquote Sega Master System completion project, which was a small project by some people who wanted to make it so that every Master System game had a guide on Game FAQs. There's also a Game Boy 1 and a Nintendo Entertainment System 1. But yeah, this was part of that. I actually wrote this because I went on a forum and it said this one hadn't been claimed. So I thought to myself, well, I've completed this game before, so I'll do it again and I'll write a guide for it. The only annoying thing is that now, for some reason, some people on Game FAQs have decided to remove some of their guides for Master System games, which means that the completion project was complete, but now it's not complete. There are some games that need doing again because some people decided to remove their guides. Someone removed the black belt one, and because of that, I wrote a black belt one. So I think the only black belt one on there for the Sega Master System one is mine, but there was another one on there. So he removed his, so it became available again to do a guide, even though you can do a guide anyway. But yeah, no one's going to stop you, because I did one for Shadow of the Beast, and there was already one on there. So because I wasn't happy with the Shadow of the Beast one that was already on there. My one's more comprehensive. Anyway, more complete, which is sort of like a misnomer, because you've got, well, not really a misnomer, but one of those things, because you can't really have more complete, because either something's complete or it isn't. It's like having more unique. Either something's unique or it isn't. I think that's called a misnomer anyway, or it could be something else. Anyway, so that was the Master System completion project. So I've been waffling a bit, I do apologise, but yeah, so if you want to check out my guide for this game, it's pretty comprehensive, and it explains everything. There are lots of weapons that you can buy in the shop, but you can only get one every time you go in a shop. It only gives you a chance to get one, so it's important that you buy the best weapon. If you get the wrong one, you'll make the game a lot more difficult. And I review and list every single weapon that you can buy in this game on that guide. And yeah, so you only want the best weapons, really. Anyway, so we're going to be doing it on hard modes. Let's choose hard mode. Here we go. I finally found him. This time he's mine. I think the Mega Drive one was also 2-player as well. This one isn't, of course. Okay. I don't know. I finally found him. I don't know whom he's found. I don't know what that means, because I haven't read the manual for ages. Okay, here we go. Try to get as many zennies as you can. There we go. Button 2 rotates the satellite clockwise, and button 1 rotates it anti-clockwise. I remember now. Okay, try to kill these things because they drop zennies. The satellite will also act like a shield of sorts, but it's not really that reliable, so don't rely on it. This thing I can only manage to kill on easy and normal modes. It seems to be too difficult to kill on hard modes, so I just sort of ignore it, sort of. Okay, the shop's coming up. Okay, go in immediately. And we have 8,500 zennies with which to play around. Okay, there's Lucia. She's very easy on the eye, partly because she's wearing a transparent top. Very nice. Anyway, she's supposed to be on our side, but like other characters in other games, she charges the earth for her things. Give them to me for nothing. It would make the mission a lot easier. Anyway, first thing I like to buy is the treatment, so buy that. That will put your health up the top. It restored your strength. Buy the flying stone. I like to buy the super high speed one because it makes the game a bit easier. So buy that one. Bought a gold flying stone. Okay, always buy the power pack. That increases your max health. So bought a power pack. Next we're going to buy the missile. Now, at the moment, the weapon we have is called the V cannon because it sort of goes, it fires 2 shots at an angle, so it looks like a V. I think that's what it's. I think that's why it's called that anyway. But anyway, you want the missile because they're auto tracking and they'll home in on the enemies, so it's really handy. So always buy the missile. Traded in the V cannon for a missile, and as we traded in the V cannon, it gives us 1,000 discount, so it'll give us back 1,000 for the V cannon. So even though you think that that would have taken me down to 2,500 or whatever, it actually took me down to 3,500. So it gave me an extra 1,000 for the V cannon. Anyway, Now, the next thing you want to buy is, never get the rear blaster. It's awful. It's just awful. It'll just make. I mean, if you want to lose the game, buy the rear blaster. That's the only advice I can give, really. It's just terrible. Never buy a protector. Armor capable of resisting up to 5 shots. Never buy the protector. 5 shots will be used up really quickly. In later shops, there's a thing you can buy called a repair kit. As if you're going to keep your protector between levels. No chance. Absolutely no chance. And it's cheaper than buying a new protector, repairing the old one. You can also find a protector in some of the levels, but you never buy them. They're too expensive. Always buy a life potion. Potion of resurrection can restore life. What that does is, if you ever die, you're brought back to life immediately, so you don't have to start the level all over again. You're just brought back to life immediately. So always buy these, because I think they're only available in some of the shops. I think the first 2, but I could be wrong. So always buy one of these. There we go. And that's it. That's everything we want. Here we go. Stop by again. Okay, so now we have the auto missiles. The auto missiles and the super high speed flying stone. Make this a lot easier, that's why I recommend them. Zennies aren't really a problem after this level, because at the end of each level you're given bonus Zennies, so it's easy to amass them after this level. It's just on this level that they're a problem, really, because we start off with none on hard mode. If you kill the cog thing, that will give you 1,000 Zennies. There we go. Try not to lose too much health. There we go. The satellite will act like a shield, but it's not really reliable because it's so small in comparison with how big you are. I think on hard mode the enemies shoot faster as well, I think. These things will give you 1,000 Zennies each, which is really generous. Anyway, time for the easy boss. Just take as long as you need, because there's no time limit. The only difference is on hard mode it just needs more hits. And obviously the things do more damage. I think it's called the Paramecium. It's some sort of weird creature that has rubbish orbiting it. And it shoots out. Try to avoid the direction of the firepower, because the firepower can block your shots like that. So I just keep switching it like that. There we go. There we go. I think it shoots out the rubbish as well. Yeah, there we go. Avoid it when it does that. Just be patient. Impatience is your worst enemy here, because you can get bored and try to defeat it more quickly because you're bored. But that's the worst thing you can do, really. I think when it goes yellow, that means we're getting it. But there's no time limit. There's no need to be quick at this. Just take as long as you need. I don't know what a Paramecium is, or why it's or why it has rubbish orbiting it. If anyone can explain that to me, I'd be really grateful. Yeah, in the Mega Drive version, this game is actually 2-player, and I think the other player is a black man or something, and they both have sunglasses. Yeah, this was originally an arcade game ported to the Mega Drive, and then the Master System got its own port as well. It's like the younger brother of the Mega Drive got its own port. Which is almost most of the time never as good as the Mega Drive version, at least graphically. Mega Drive version always had the better graphics and everything because it's more powerful. But I still prefer the Master System really to the Mega Drive because I don't know, the games are better in my opinion. The music's better. Come on. Come on, Paramecium, time to die. There we go, he's finished. Okay, that's that. We get our score. We have 20,500 zennies, and it will take more than Paramecium to stop me. Where is he? It's like he's in an orange room or something. Okay, time for level 2. I think there's a protector hidden on this level somewhere. I'll see if I can find it. It's not that good. It just gives you invincibility for 5 hits, but at least it doesn't cost 5,000 zennies like the one in the last level did. It's completely free, which is my favourite price. I think Sega Power Magazine might have given this game either 1 or 2 stars out of 5. I think for the same reason they gave Tasmania only 2 stars out of 5, and that's because they were comparing it unfavourably with the Mega Drive version, which I think is really stupid because of course the Mega Drive version of the game is going to have better graphics and things because it's the Mega Drive. It was a more powerful system, and if you say that, if you say the Master System version is rubbish because there's a better Mega Drive version, I mean you might as well just say every Game Boy game or Master System game and Mega Drive game is rubbish. They're all rubbish because there's the PlayStation 4 and that has much better graphics, so of course the games are going to be quote unquote better on that system than they are on Game Boy, Master System or Mega Drive. So I think it's really stupid. I think they said of Tasmania that it was so scaled down from the Mega Drive version, it was just a simple platformer or something. But I think it's a really good game. I mean, Sega Pro Magazine gave it gave it over 90%, which is equivalent to sort of like 5 stars. Yeah, so they gave this game, I think, either 1 or 2, probably because they were comparing it unfavourably with the Mega Drive version. But they also gave Transbot 1 star. And that's awful, and I agree with that. And they gave Alf 1 star, that's pretty awful. But they gave George Foreman's KO Boxing 1 star, even though it's just a slightly easier version of Heavyweight Champ. And they gave that 3 stars, even though they're more or less the same game. So I don't think they were consistent. But F-16 Fighter, I can't remember how many stars I gave that one. Because F-16 Fighter or F-16 Fighting Vulcan is awful. It's just sort of, you need 2 controllers to play it. And everything's either blue or orange. It's just an awful flight simulator. In my opinion, it's unplayable. But yeah, so I don't know why they gave this only 1 or 2 stars. It isn't that bad. It's quite good. I mean, it's a little too short and a bit too easy, but still quite a solid game. And of course we get to look at this eye candy here with her transparent top. Yummy, yummy. Right. Right. Here's the second shot. Let's get the treatment. Booster, weapon firepower increases. You want to get this. Costs you 10,000. It increases the firepower. So yeah. Repair kit. Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about earlier. So if you manage to keep your protector, if you bought one in the last shop and you manage to keep it, i.e. not get 5 hits, which is easier said than done, trust me, you can actually repair it. If your protector is completely gone, if it's all used up, you can't use the repair kit. You have to have in between 1 and 4 hits left on your protector to be able to use this. I've never actually bought it because if I do buy a protector, it's either all gone. Yeah, it's completely gone, so I can't use the repair kit. So yeah, I assume if you haven't taken any damage on your protector that you can't buy it. Because if you try and buy this again, it just says you haven't sustained any damage, so I assume it does the same thing with this thing. Anyway, make sure you buy another life potion. And don't buy, if you try to buy the missiles again, it just says you already have one. Do not buy the firebomb, it's awful. Believe me. And the multi-directional shot, shooting all directions at once, is terrible as well. It's almost akin to the awful directional shot on Aerial Assault. If you remember that game, where I swear to God, they try to drop those things, so you have to get them because they know they're awful. They treat are those power-ups for directional shot, like an enemy that you have to avoid because they know they're terrible. This thing is almost as bad. Just don't get it. Just keep the missiles because they're auto-tracking. I mean, it's really easy to get the enemies with this thing. And the firebomb isn't very good either. It's really weak and doesn't auto-track. Can we get another life potion? No, it's sold out. Okay, so that's everything done. So let's bought the booster, didn't we? Yep. Okay, so let's go. Stop by again. I will. Okay, there's the hidden protector. So nab that. And now we're invincible for 5 hits. Try to get those zennies. There we go. Lovely. Okay, we're about to change direction. Yep, now. Try to get this enemy as quickly as you can because its firepower is pretty powerful. There's another power up here. Yeah, it's called POW, and it will give you more health. So nab that if you need it, or nab it if you don't, it doesn't matter. I can't remember how much health it gives you, because I haven't really needed it for ages, but all I know is it gives health. Try to nab all the free zennies you can get. Come on, die. Those barrier things give really good zennies. Okay, we're coming up to the second boss. I think he's called the Iron Warlord. There's someone worshipping him or something. He's really difficult if you don't know what you're doing, but I have worked out the perfect way to get him. So he's actually, for me, at least, really easy. Okay, the first thing you'll see is some arms trying to attack you. There's no point attacking them really because they can't die. The only way to get rid of the arms is to attack the shoulders, and we can't do that yet. So they'll go red when you hit them, but they can't die yet. Okay, here he comes. First thing to get, there are 2 force field things here and here. So get rid of them first. Try to avoid his firepower. Although you can shoot the firepower. Okay, now to get rid of the arms, attack the shoulders. So get this shoulder first. I always like to get this one first. There we go. There we go. So that's the first arm dealt with. To get the second arm, just wait here and just shoot. There we go. And just wait. There's no time limit. There's nothing he can do to hurt you now because he's shooting in that direction. The arm can't reach you, so you can just wait until the shoulder's dead. And it will be soon. There we go. That's both arms gone. Now to get him, just try to position yourself perfectly. About there. Slightly up a bit. That's it. Absolutely perfect. When you get rid of both arms, he tends to shoot more quickly in my experience. So yeah. So now there's I'm not actually holding the controller now. I'm just waiting for him. There's no point because there's no way he can hurt me, and there's no time limit. So this is the perfect position, really. And that's it. All done. When I first did that, I found that really difficult, believe it or not. It's really easy now. Anyway, scrap 1 Iron Warlord. Looks a bit like Duke Nukem there. And level 3. This level has multiple paths in it. It's important for obvious reasons to choose the easier one. In my opinion, the first path you should take is the top one because it's a bit easier. That's not to say the other one is really, really hard. It just means that that this one is slightly easier. Because they're both pretty difficult, if you ask me. Anyway, to choose a path, just shoot the barrier that's in front of it. There we go. And that means we're definitely choosing the top one. And we can't shoot the bottom barrier now. Okay, here, just circle your satellite to try and take care of these enemies because they sort of spawn randomly and they're really difficult to avoid. I think the shop's here. Yep, there we go. Good. Okay. So choose health, of course. There's another flying stone, but we don't need it. Another booster. No, we don't need it. There's another power pack. Buy that. Okay, now here there's some more weapons. The bounce is pretty awful. Bullets bounce off the wall. That is terrible. Trust me. Don't get it. There's the laser. Don't get the laser. It's not as powerful as what you think it is. It's pretty bad. Now what you do want to get is the burner, powerful flamethrower. Now this thing, it has a really high rate of fire, but it's not. The only drawback to it is that it has less range, but the power of it and the fire rate really makes up for the low range, so I advise that you buy this every single time. And that's all we need. Let's go. Yeah, this level is pretty hectic. Try to take care of the guns because they're most annoying. Nearly done. Circle your satellite like that to try and take care of these enemies because they're difficult to avoid. Okay, here's another choice. Take the bottom one, in my opinion. This one's a bit easier. I might die here. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first of my 2 life potions used. Okay, just keep circling your satellite like before. More of these annoying archers. But yeah, as you can see, the burner is really powerful and really good. Eventually we'll need something more powerful, but this will do for now and the next level. Oh yeah, these skulls, they're dreadfully irritating. Just keep out of their line of fire and they're not too bad. Okay, I think it might be time for the boss. Yeah, it's really difficult not to lose a life potion here. It really is. Luckily though, this boss is really easy. It's some sort of sphinx or something. First thing you take care of is the head. It's really easy. Especially with the burner, because you can just keep attacking it like this. Just keep out of its line of fire, and it's really easy. And then we have to deal with the body, which shoots out some sort of snake thing. There we go. That's the end of that. Okay, so it shoots out a snake thing, but you can just ignore that because we really have to get the neck, that neck wound thing, where the head was. That's it. Look at that! Just you can just get it, and it can't do anything. It shoots out infinite of those snake things to protect it. You just concentrate on the neck. Anyway, loads of money for that. Over 70,000, lovely. And all this place needs is Cleopatra. Very good. Very good joke. Okay, 4th level. This one takes place underwater, so we move really slowly. Unfortunately, that won't stop until we get the Aqua Stone, which is in the next shop. So we have to put up with that, I'm afraid. As soon as we get the Aqua Stone, we're back to normal. Don't worry about getting the Zennies. We can't, there's never enough time to get them because we move so slowly. What these enemies are, I don't know. Those ones that are leaving Zennies, I've no idea what they are. Don't worry, the shop's soon. This level is made a lot more difficult if you don't have the burner, trust me. So always get the burner. Anyway, go inside the shop, immediately get the health, and the Aqua Stone improves underwater speed performance. It just puts you back to normal. Bought an Aqua Stone, there we go. A Super Booster, get that, of course. Traded in the booster for a Super Booster, we get a bit of cash back. Get the Power Pack, more health. Now, there's a little choice here. Don't get the laser and don't get the rolling barrier. The rolling barrier is particularly awful. Do not get the rolling barrier, trust me. But yeah, there's a bit of a choice here. You can get rid of your burner and get the Vulcan Cannon. Now, the Vulcan Cannon is really powerful. The trouble is, it isn't like the fire rate isn't as fast as the burner, which is what we have, and it also doesn't have the auto tracking capabilities of the missile. So it's really powerful, but it's really difficult to get hits in. So I recommend that you not get it. But if you like power over fire rate, then by all means get it, but I choose not to. But I'm not going to say this is bad because it is quite good, but I just prefer the burner. But these two definitely are awful, especially the rolling barrier. Anyway, so we bought the power pack, didn't we? Yeah, okay, and the health. Okay, okay, so that's that. 50,000 Zennies left, good. And then we're back to normal speed, lovely. This level gets really difficult lower down. There are these annoying enemies. There are these guns that when you kill them they turn into other guns whose bullets sort of home in on you, and when you kill them they leave behind a treasure chest, which I think gives you 10,000 Zennies. But that's not really worth it because they're so difficult to kill with the burner. They're even difficult to kill with the Vulcan Cannon. But yeah, I'll see if I can get just one treasure chest there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that's worth 10,000 Zennies, I think. I might lose another life potion here. That's why it's important to buy them when you can. Go away. Ah. Lots and lots of critters here, yeah. Oh well. Luckily the boss for this level is really easy, so it doesn't matter too much. But again, that's why it's important to buy them earlier, because they come in handy for these sorts of situations. Okay, coming to the end now. Nearly there. Go away. Okay, I think the boss is some sort of crab. It sort of reminds me of Sega. Here he is. Relatively easy. That's the first claw taken care of. Take care of that, and that. Lovely. I think he just sends out another one there. Ow. Come on, you're embarrassing me. Ow. He's finished, there we go. Not too bad. Loads of Zennies, of course, puts us over 100,000. Blimey. Now it's just between the winged wraith and me. Final level. I think there are 2 shops in this level, which is really handy. That thing will give you health, I think. Yeah, that's quite handy. So make sure you pick that up. We will be upgrading our weapon in this level to something much better. There's the first shop. Should go in it now. Okay, what's the sale? Health, yep. Repair kit, don't need it. Power pack, yep. Flying stone again, don't need it. Rolling barrier, no. Four-way laser, no. Vulcan spread shot, no, don't get it. They're not as good as the burner. Although the Vulcan spread shot is actually quite, it's sort of good, but again, I would rather keep the burner because of the high rate of power, the high rate of firepower. The good thing about the burner is, the really good thing is that you can just hold it over an enemy and it constantly does damage. You're not firing bullets. You just hold it over an enemy and it does damage. That's much better. So in effect you can't miss with it. That's the good thing about the burner, which is why it's in my opinion one of the best weapons in the game. So yeah, that's everything. Okay, stop by again. I told you Zennies weren't a problem after the first level, didn't I? I mean, I have over 100,000 now. That's worth 5,000 Zennies, I think. In fact, now I come to think of it, I think the treasure chests in the last level might be worth 5,000 as well. I might have said 10,000, but it doesn't really matter too much. I think they're worth 5,000 as well, actually. Okay, here, try to concentrate on getting the bullets rather than the guns themselves, because the guns take too much time to kill. That's it, and just try to avoid things, really. There should be some health up here somewhere. There's a POW, I think. Get the Zennies if you can. It doesn't take too much health. Okay, I think the POW is here. Yep, there it is, good. Okay. Okay, now I'm just waiting for the shop. I think there's some sort of barrier to destroy here, or something like that. Yeah, those bullets are really annoying. There we go. Ugh. Okay, go for it. Hide in here, I think. Yep, get rid of the bullets. One more. One more. Right, there we go. Okay, the shop's just coming up. I think it's just up here somewhere. Yep, there it is. Good. Okay, in here, immediately get the health. Don't need a super booster. The dress, it says a pleasant surprise. Now what that does, I think, is after you complete the game, if if you had bought the dress, you would get 1,000,000 points after you complete the game. So only go for the dress if you're really obsessed with points for some reason. Otherwise, it's completely useless. So don't get the dress. Now here, it's a choice of weapon. Fragmentation ball, a special missile packed with homing projectiles. It's awful. I think it fires some sort of sphere, and it only it only fragments if it hits something. Otherwise, it's just some sort of ball which flies through the air, and it's difficult to hit things with it. So my advice is to avoid the fragmentation ball. The fireball, maximum penetration shot, that's really good. Obviously the fire rate isn't as good as the burner, but the power of it is much greater than the burner, so it more than makes up for the lack of firepower, rate of firepower that is. So I advise buying the fireball. There we go, and it's especially important for the boss. Traded in the burner for a fireball. Now it's important that you buy that first before you want to buy the protector, because if you bought that the protector first, you might not have enough money for the you might not have enough money for the fireball, and that would make it so that you'd have to do the boss. You'd have no choice but to do the boss with the burner. So I advise buying the expensive thing first, because after you buy the fireball, you trade in the burner for some money, and that will give you enough money to buy this protector if you want it. So yeah. Anyway, that's that done. Stop by again. I shan't, because that's the last one in the game. Okay, there's another protector there. Like before, just try to concentrate on killing the bullets, because they're really annoying. That's it. Another one of these to destroy. That's it, and then go. I think there's some more health around here somewhere. Yep, there it is. Good. Damn, those bullets are annoying. There we go. It's another barrier thing, I think. Yep, there it is. And I think this is the boss. Pardon me. Okay, get yourself into this position. Just keep shooting these things. That's it, lovely. And eventually they go on the other side. Yep, there we go. And the same applies here. After this they go on both sides, which is harder to avoid, so just sort of spin your satellite around a bit. Yep, here they come. There we go, and then here's the boss proper. Okay, and then move, because he's going to do something nasty. Oh no, no, he didn't then. Yeah, he sometimes does this, yeah, laser attack like that, yeah. Yeah, this firepower should make mincemeat of him. There we go, lovely. Lovely. Aha, missed. Try to shoot the firepower like I am, because it makes it easier. Now he got me again. And he's finished. Really easy final boss. As long as you have that firebomb firepower. And then we get those are Zennies, even though they're useless. And I think if you'd bought the dress, I think you get another 1,000,000 points or something, which is completely useless, but there it is. And any zennies you have left is added onto your score, so I get a score of 1.5933 million. I did it. Now that the evil ones are gone, maybe things will get back to normal around here. Maybe. My people are forever in your debt, brave warrior. Why didn't you give me the stuff for nothing, person with a translucent top? We shall rebuild our city to be as beautiful as it was in the past. I thought it was the whole Earth, not just a city. You need to rebuild the whole Earth, love. The valiant warrior was never seen again, but his legend lives on. The legend of spinning satellite thing and iron warlords and overpriced stuff in Lucia's shop and a dress that I didn't have enough money for. Okay, so that's the end of Forgotten Worlds. Here are the credits. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm up to something like 709 subscribers at the time of this video being made, which is quite impressive. I never thought I'd get up to that number. I actually played and completed the other day Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I hadn't done it on hard mode for ages. Really fun game that. Even though I said I never would, I might actually do a video of that at some point, because it is a very fun game. But there are so many other videos of it on YouTube who all do it better than I would do it. I mean, they do it without dying so much. I just can't help but die on Nemesis because he's so difficult. Maybe I need to practice at it more, but yeah, it's a really fun game. Maybe I'll do a video of it, I don't know. And then maybe Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, even though I'm not really a big fan of Resident Evil 2. Anyway, the end, and there's the warrior, even though it said we never see him again. But there he is, so the game just lied to itself. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed Forgotten Worlds. So that's that. Yeah, press the button. No, nothing's happening. Yep, anything. Fast forward. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it was just a time thing. Yeah, so that was Forgotten Worlds. Thank you for watching. My next video will probably be, I don't know actually. There's my list on the about section of my page. I mean, I'll just choose a game out of there. Maybe Renegade, Vigilante, or something. I don't know. Probably not Zool yet because that needs a bit of practice. It's a pretty big game that. Well, lots of levels anyway. And Ease the Vanished Omens, that'll need practice as well. But yeah, probably Renegade or Vigilante, something like that. Or maybe Bram Stoker's Dracula, but that needs practice as well. Anyway, thank you for watching and goodbye.